We're all familiar with this take. Madara's death was terrible, he should have been the final villain of Naruto, and should have gone out in a climactic battle against Naruto and Sasuke. The only reason Kishimoto went with the Kaguya twist is because Madara was too strong. I have to disagree. I actually really like Madara's death, and I think that it was the perfect end for his character, both narratively and thematically. For one, I think that the idea of a bigger bad pulling the strings was somewhat well foreshadowed. Madara viewed himself as a genius who could masterfully control others, but in practice, we saw that his schemes rarely worked. Madara planned to use Obito to enact his plan while Madara was dead. He left his eyes to Nagato so that he could be revived, and left Zetsu to follow the plan just in case. And while Zetsu absolutely stuck to the plan, neither Obito nor Nagato had any interest in reviving Madara. Had it not been for Kabuto, a character neither Madara nor anyone else accounted for, he likely would have never been brought back. Had Zetsu not been the one really pulling the strings, Madara would have been screwed, dying of old age for good. Not only that, but both Obito and Nagato wound up separately betraying Madara anyway by choosing to ally with Naruto and nearly ruined his plans because of it. Madara's goals and plans constantly fell apart. He failed to protect his family, failed to beat Hashirama, and failed to awaken the Rinnegan until after he was too old to do anything with it. It makes perfect sense that his plan for the Infinite Tsukuyomi didn't go the way Madara thought it would. Nothing ever does. Madara himself said it best. Nothing goes according to plan in this accursed world. Another important piece of foreshadowing was Madara's first death against Hashirama. Madara, who believed that Hashirama couldn't deceive him, was killed by a clone diversion, one of the most basic ninja techniques. And now in the present, Madara, having achieved his dream, again believes he's untouchable, and makes the mistake of leaving his back open one last time. Hashirama summarized Madara well when he called him a fundamentally loving man. He was driven by pain and a deep-seated distrust in the world around him, which, when you remember his upbringing, makes sense. He grew up in a world where children were dumped into battle as young as 7, where being able to go beyond clans and form strong bonds with others was a radical idea. It's easy to understand why he sees the world the way he does. But this flaw was his downfall. The fact that he never trusted anyone was exactly why he was so easy to manipulate. Zetsu highlights this when he tells Madara that he spent so much time manipulating other people that he never thought he was the one being controlled. Madara's ego was so big that he really thought he could be some kind of messiah and subjugate the world with the Infinite Tsukuyomi. And all Zetsu had to do to put him on this path was use his lust for power against him and change a tablet that promised him godhood. He trusted Zetsu because he thought Zetsu was the physical manifestation of his own will. He essentially only trusted himself, and his ego was so big that he never once thought that a higher power was controlling him. At least Obito knew he was being used. A lot of people claim that he was unbeatable, and that's why Kaguya took over, but I don't really buy that. Naruto and Sasuke absolutely could have beaten Madara, and Madara was certainly weaker than Kaguya. Madara was running around on the defensive end fighting the upgraded Naruto and Sasuke, whereas Kaguya clearly had them on the ropes, and nearly killed them seconds after appearing. Even if you argue Madara was more skilled, Kaguya was so much more powerful it wouldn't have mattered. A lot of people wanted him to lose to Naruto and Sasuke in a climactic battle, but I really don't think that beating him in a fight is the best way to send off his character. He was a warmonger who sought peace, a man who craved battle. That would have been giving him exactly what he wanted, and Naruto doesn't often send off central villains that way. Zabuza, Gaara, Pain, Obito, they all had to be confronted by the error of their ways before they could be completely stopped. And Madara's confrontation could only come by being fooled. Beating him in a fight wouldn't have proven anything. I know his conclusion might have seemed underwhelming to some, but he died as the biggest fool in shinobi history, an end that perfectly fits his character, even if the character that caused it is the worst in the series. But that's another video. In the end, he was just another tool like the rest of his fellow shinobi, a really clever way to tie the story back to some of its earliest themes from the Land of Waves arc. But that's all for now. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and please stay tuned for more.